The young man's fingers traced the spine of an ancient tome. As he muttered an unintelligible phrase under his breath, there was a soft metallic click, and to Sergio's surprise, the bookcase shuttered and began to swing open. Hidden behind it was an unlit staircase, descending into a dimly lit room. "Follow me," the young man said, grabbing a lantern from a nearby shelf. His voice resounded eerily in the secret chamber. He began to descend, the glow from the lantern throwing long, dancing shadows on the walls. Sergio trailed behind, his heart pounding. His mind raced with possibilities. What if the murderer had been one of these select few who knew about this hidden room? What if the answers to the mystery lay hidden in the depths of this secret chamber? The soft, yellow glow of a single bulb barely reached the corners of the hidden room. Sergio squinted, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. It was unlike any bookstore section he had ever come across. Bookshelves, looking ancient and weary with time, stretched from floor to ceiling. The smell of old paper and worn leather filled the air, along with a deeper, faintly musty scent that Sergio couldn't quite place. "These are unusual books," Sergio said, not hiding his surprise as he took in the titles. On the spines, Latin phrases, strange symbols, authors he didn't recognize. The young man shrugged. "Unusual, yes, but for some, they hold an irresistible draw." Sergio looked at him sharply. "The select few?" "Exactly," the young man replied. "These are books you won't find in regular stores. Many of them are out of print, forbidden, or simply hard to find. They deal with matters out of the ordinary." "Dark arts, occult?" Sergio asked, his voice trailing off as he pulled out a book with a worn-out black cover. The title was in Latin, but he could make out words suggesting it dealt with death rituals. The young man nodded, a strange glint in his eyes. "Yes, among other things." In that moment, surrounded by the musty scent of ancient knowledge and hidden truths, Sergio realized that he had stepped into a world far removed from his own, a world that possibly held the key to his investigation. The young man traced a finger along the bookshelf, pulling out a book bound in faded red leather. "Some of these books," he began, flipping through the yellowed pages, "date back centuries. They contain rituals, practices, and knowledge, long forgotten or dismissed by mainstream society." His fingers paused over a sketch of a complex symbol, the ink faded, but still discernible. "This symbol, for example," he continued, pointing at the page, "is related to a death ritual practiced in some of the ancient Celtic tribes." Sergio leaned in to look at the page, his brow furrowed. "Why would someone want this kind of knowledge?" he asked, his gaze shifting between the young man and the symbol on the page. The young man shrugged, returning the book to the shelf. "People seek these books for various reasons. Some out of pure curiosity, some with a genuine interest in the macabre, and others." He hesitated, casting a glance at Sergio, "others because they believe they can use this knowledge for their own purposes." Sergio felt a chill run down his spine. "Do you remember selling any of these books recently?" he asked, holding his breath as he waited for the young man's response. "I'd have to check," the young man stammered, clearly caught off guard. "We keep records of special purchases, but sharing that information, I don't know if I can." Sergio's face hardened. "Young man, withholding this information could be obstructing a police investigation. That's a crime." The worker swallowed hard, his eyes darting toward the exit. "I understand, but the owner of the story, I have to ask him. I can't just give away customer details." Sergio's patience was exhausted. "Do you understand the gravity of this situation?" he snapped, his voice ringing around the quiet bookstore. "There are lives at stake here." The young man nodded quickly, fear evident in his eyes. "I understand. I'll call the owner right now. Just please wait." With that, he hurried back toward the back of the store, leaving Sergio alone among the ancient books and their dark secrets.